Welcome back to Articulate Air. It's been a little over a year, I think, since you last flew with us. And let me start by saying it's my absolute pleasure to have you back on board with us on our flight to Tokyo, Japan. Now, not a whole lot has changed since your last trip. Perhaps the Thai has improved a little bit, but we still like to think the Articulate brand is synonymous with an executive touch, providing their clients with luxury, relaxation, and 6-star customer service. I'd like to start by offering you your freebies, which is my personal favorite part of our journey together. My name is Matthew, and I will be your personal butler upon our flight today. The experience we like to offer you is complete and total peace and solitude. Now, as this is a nighttime flight, we have installed a clapper light dimmer. Now, we don't want you falling asleep just yet. We still have your main course, your snacks, and your drinks to be provided. But in keeping with the idea of relaxation and meaningful and deep sleep, we've actually partnered up with Manta sleep masks. And we'll be providing all of our clients in first class with their own sleep mask. Now let me just explain a little bit about why, of all the sleep masks in the world, why would we choose Manta sleep mask? First and foremost, it provides 100% blackout. Now, you may have been to a hotel and found those little plasticky looking sleep masks under the pillow or in the vanity bag in the bathroom. And they always let light in just under the bulge of the cheeks. And if you are able to sleep with the mask, you always wake up with that red line indented just next to the eyebrows. The Manta sleep mask is incredibly soft, but is rimmed around the eyes. And I guarantee when you slip this on to sleep, you wouldn't even know you were wearing it if it wasn't for the total lack of light. It's breathable. It's infinitely adjustable to fit any size head. And it comes with a personal articulate recommendation. Finally, when you wake up in the morning and you think how relaxed you are, how well rested you are, if you wish to buy a pair of the Manta sleep mask, you'll find a 10% link on your touchscreen TV for all your friends and family. As you may remember, one of the only downsides to flying Mach 2 is the roar of the engines. And to counter this, we offer you the slightly operated noise cancelling, brought to you by Sony. And these are the WH-1000 XM3s. Now they are the most premium noise cancelling headphone available on the market. Let me just slip them on for you. And when I hit the little button, you can hear me. Better? Now, we have the noise cancelling, we have the sleep covered. But before we send you off to the land of the dreamless sleep, you want to make sure you're well fed, your thirst has been quenched. So let's go ahead and give you some of your freebies. The headphones, the mask are yours to keep. But what about entertainment? How are you going to pass the time on, even at Mach 2? It's still quite a long flight. Let's try this. Perhaps we can interest you in your very own Surface Pro. Now, the reason we went for the Surface Pro, it's compact. The keyboard snaps to the unit. Perfect for writing out essays, gaming on the go, writing project briefs, whatever your needs. The Surface Pro fits perfectly. And of course, we bought you the highest spec on the market, which meaning even your gaming needs are covered. I'll just pop this down here for you. Inside here, we have your toiletries. You'll find Parasso soap and the closest shea razor blade you will find anywhere in Italy, coupled with the Jean Paul Gaultier La Male aftershave. Shower cap, maybe you don't need it. Some L'Eau de Toilette shower gel, yours to keep. Okay, the freebies out of the way. You look a little bit thirsty. Let's start with the soft drinks, okay? Maybe a little snack, and then we can get your main meal ordered. And while we're waiting for the main meal to be prepared, I'd like to offer you a rather special wine. If I remember right, last time you flew with us, we offered the whiskey. well, we have something extra special on board for our first-class passengers today, and I think you're going to like it. Bear with me. Now, we like to make sure we have as many bases covered as possible. Now, what I can do is talk you through each of the offerings. My personal favorite, the overhang. Now, this is a beautiful combination of a ginger and orange ale. It's particularly refreshing, and if you maybe had a busy night last night, it's the perfect remedy. It's sparkling, has a little bite to it. The ginger can be quite sharp, but perhaps that's what you're in the market for. Now, what's next? Perhaps I can interest you in something a little more standard, maybe even a little more basic. The Starbucks Caramel Macchiato. Now, this is a particularly sweet beverage, highly caffeinated, and, as I said, one for the sweet tooth. But a personal favorite of mine also. There isn't much on our tray that I don't enjoy, to be fair. But maybe you want something a little more refreshing, not quite as sweet. Perhaps the orange juice. Now, this is freshly squeezed, and although it's packaged, the oranges contained within are never more than 3 weeks old. Okay, so what we're serving you is fresh. And it has that, again, that citrusy bite, but without the sweetness. Okay, now, maybe something more traditional. Coke Zero, perhaps? Or coconut water. And coconut water has seen something of a resurgence quite recently. It used to be that coconut water wasn't seen very often. Or maybe we want to go for the fruit cocktail. Again, these are fresh fruits, including mango, a little bit of apple, pear, banana, and even some star fruit in there. Okay, sure. Let me grab you the bottle and a glass. Would you like ice with that? Okay. I share the same opinion. Now, just as a reminder, I don't think you need it at this stage, but all of our drinks and food is entirely complimentary. If you need, I can leave the tray for you. I remember from last time. Okay. Now maybe something to nibble alongside your drink. Are you thinking sweet or perhaps savory? Okay. Now, depending on what takes your fancy, I have more of a sweet tooth. Perhaps the Kitkat Chunky Caramel. Now, when the Kitkat Chunky was initially released, I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. The Kitkat always felt a little bit lacking. The Chunky provides that triple, quadruple layer of wafer, chocolate wafer. Thick, really block thick chocolate encasing, which was delicious. But then they decided to add the caramel, and which is why it makes its way onto our rather eclectic board. One of the rarer bars, the Lion Black and White. Delicious, equally so. A little bit more particular. It never made it to the complete mainstream as a widestream product because it's maybe a little bit niche. Combines the white and the dark, and for me, tasty. Not so much as a Kitkat caramel, but an interesting choice. I am this particular with my confectionery, yes. How about proper dark chocolate? Now, Lindt chocolate. Curiously speaking, their stock price, Lindt stock price, is one of the most expensive stocks in all the world. I think top 3 or top 4. But they are master chocolatiers from Switzerland. And if you've never tried the 85% cacao, I'd recommend it. But it does come with a little neck back, almost a throat scratchy kind of bite to it. Can be quite blunt. Pairs well with something like coconut water, which was your choice, at least in this case. Or, hiding under the bottom here, Cornflake Ritter Sport. A little bit out of left field, but don't write it off. Most people enjoy cornflakes. What better way to case it in thick milk chocolate? Some nuts. Beautiful. Or maybe we keep it basic. Plain Pringles. In my country we call these crisps. Maybe in your country they're called chips. Or maybe just some good old-fashioned salted, dry roasted nuts. And a couple Smiths to freshen the breath. Once you're done. I also have, bear with me again. We actually offer tomato Pringles as well. Now these are brand new to the market, and the reason we even agreed to trial ketchup flavored Pringles was because we were astonished at how Moorish they actually are. It's a dark horse. Okay, sure. Good choices. The Ritter and the Kitkat. And again, I will, of course, leave the tray for you at the entrance to your suite. Now, I'll leave you for little while. You can enjoy your confectionery and your beverages, and I'll come back on you with a nice hot towel to kind of wipe and cleanse your face, and we can discuss evening meal. Okay? Thank you. Hello again. How are you feeling? You have that smile, that contentedness, which we love to see in our clients. Enjoying the headphones? Good. In case you wondered, this little mic is what's called a proximity mic. The moment I enter into your suite, the mic clicks back on and you can hear me, which is why you can't hear me while I'm down the corridor preparing. Fantastic. Good to hear it. This is the first time we've been flying with the in-room suite. Of course, you'll find the bed, the workstation, and your bathroom to the right-hand side. Yes. Part of our continuous improvement program, of which we're very proud. Speaking of which, could I offer you a hot towel? Now these are actually steamed in a eucalyptus water vapor. They're warm but not uncomfortably so, okay? Good. Yes, they smell absolutely beautiful. They have a real cleansing scent, which is why we chose eucalyptus. Functional and decorative, as we like to say. Now, I'd like to offer you our menu. And in there, of course, you will find our cocktail list. I've actually obscured our wine trait for you today because I want to surprise you. And chances are you maybe have never even heard of the wine, but I think it's worth the risk. Maybe you have, and if you have, I'd love to surprise you with it. On page 3, you'll see the starters and main course. Okay, if you want us to serve these together, that's absolutely fine. It could be nice to pick it at each meal, kind of mix and match a little bit. Sure, you're not the first person to ask that. We have a dual serving tray, and we can bring them together. Sure. You've already decided what you like. Well, let me give you my personal recommendation. I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, that you picked the steak. Vegan, vegetarian, or otherwise. We cater for all walks of life and articulate air. But for me, on page 5, you will see the Levant kitchen. And here you will find fetid lame. Now, at its very base, it is a heavily seasoned fried rice. Not fried, and people think of fried rice, they immediately think Chinese cuisine, Japanese cuisine. It's rice that's very delicately fried, just for a short period of time, then cooked with some saffron, fused with some Middle Eastern herbs. 86 in total, 86 different herbs go into making this. And then it's culminated with a roasted lamb, a little bit of rosemary, and 101 other. Okay, the 101 is an exaggeration, but a plethora of herbs. The lamb sits on this bed of rice, a few nuts sprinkled on top, and the amalgamation of flavor in every forkful is like nothing I have ever tasted. I cannot recommend fetid lame enough. If you don't order it today, please promise me you'll find a Middle Eastern restaurant or Lebanese restaurant, and you can order it there because it's gourmet eating. It's très bien. Okay, if you want to go the Levant route, the starter I would recommend is the pomegranate molasses. Yes. Now it's a chicken wrapped in a very, very, very delicately made, something similar to a pastry. But if you ever had a beef olive before, think of that in a deep, thick molasses pomegranate sauce. Sprinkle with a little bit of stuffing. It's undescribable. And I am never at a loss for words. But the molasses sauce, it cakes to the olive. And to call it a chicken olive isn't really fair. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted. Which isn't too surprising considering we don't get to eat Middle Eastern very often. But we have it on our menu today, and I recommend you give it a try because we've never had returns. Only, could I have some more of that, please? Excellent. If it's wrong, please return it immediately. We'll bring your steak, whatever you require. As you know, we have on board chefs creating these culinary delights as actual in-flight meals that are made in flight. Yes. Okay. Thank you for trusting me. I'll be bringing your food within 15-20 minutes. And choice of beverage. Excellent. With you momentarily. Now, as promised, the chicken with the molasses. The smell is divine. Gourmet eating at 37,000 feet. Also traveling at over 2,000 kilometers per hour. And the fetid lame. I envy you. Please enjoy. Let me know exactly what you think, and let's bring your beverage along. There you go. Now, and of course, your cutlery. Now, is there anything else for the time being that I can bring you? Excellent. Let me know when you're done. Just press the button and we'll bring that wine that I mentioned. Please enjoy. Thank you. How did you find our Lebanese offering? Well, I am absolutely delighted to hear that. Not surprised, but very happy to hear you enjoyed and you're willing to trust me. Trying new food is one thing. Trying food from an entirely different culture can be very different and can be frightening for some people. When you're flying first class, sometimes we just want the known. We want to guarantee that we're going to have a great time. And let me say, if we can't guarantee you're going to have an exceptional time in first class, we've done something horribly wrong. Thank you again for trusting me. Now, I did mention we have rather special wine on board. Now, you might not be familiar with it, but today I can offer you the Chateau Petrus 2005 Pomerol. Now, this is a wine that I've only sampled once, and curiously enough, that was for the inclusion of it on board our services for the next 2 months. Now, Petrus, as a vineyard, is world famous. And of course, maybe most famously known for its price, but when people use the word full-bodied, it's maybe used a little bit too easily and too rashly. But the Petrus Pomerol is the very embodiment of a full-bodied wine. Let me pour you the glass. I give you the Petrus 2005. Now, the 2005 vintage is personal favorite of our owner, and he has a very close relationship with the Petrus family. Having said that, it is still my absolute pleasure to offer you such a distinguished wine. Enjoy. To accompany the wine, of course, we have 2 very particular chocolates. This is a lemon buttercup. Now, the lemon isn't quite as pronounced as the name would suggest. It's a soft milk chocolate blended quite seamlessly with a lemon mousse. Just a little bit of hazelnut to send the chocolate off perfectly. The white heart is a strawberry tort. And upon biting into it, you'll find a little crunch, met very soon after by a crumble. Now, strawberry is not sour, but quite immediate. It actually blends quite well. To wash the wine down, please. Now, typically you would expect a white wine to be dessert wine. The 2005, for whatever reason, we found pairs very well with these 2 little confectionaries in particular. Taking a sip of Pomerol for the first time is not something people usually forget. Now, I'm no wine connoisseur, but the Petrus offering isn't something that needs experience to enjoy. Maybe one day we can offer a tour of the vineyard. Sure, vineyard is a beautiful place. Now, I will offer you the sleep mask. Let me just as promised. Does it not just sit effortlessly? It's comfortable. It's weightless. And it's as if you could just close your eyes and drift off to sleep. You wouldn't even know there was a mask sitting upon your face. It just quietens the world for you a little bit. Because sometimes, even in first class, even in the most luxurious hotel, even in the most beautiful setting, life has a way of just being too fast sometimes. And to be able to just drift away from the world on your own terms, just for a little while, in complete solitude and serenity. This is why we use the mantra masks, because they are